question is, what is dialogue? So dialogue is basically a new way of talking, and it's broken down into 3 parts: mirroring, validating, and empathizing. And the mirroring is an experience where you listen to another person and you get what they're saying and don't deflect it. Validating is when you see the logic in what they're saying and you don't have to agree with it, but you see it and you honor it. And empathy is when you experience the emotions they have with what they're saying and you really understand that that's the experience. Well, the biggest impact that dialogue has on couples is that it transforms their relationship. Not just incrementally makes it better, but it actually transforms the relationship, because partners begin to see each other in a new way, and they begin to relate to each other in a new way. What happens when you do this dialogue process is that you create a place of emotional safety. And in the place of emotional safety, people who are there begin to feel themselves expressing themselves in a new and different way. They become vulnerable to each other. And the reason they become vulnerable is that in a safe place, there's no judgment. You're holding each other's reality without judgment, without criticism, without any kind of blame or disagreement even. It's simply them being themselves. And when you hold people in that space, the otherness of each other begins to emerge with great delineation and clarity. You see the other as not you, and they see you as not them. And when that otherness emerges, then what can happen is connection at a very deep level. And we think that also what happens here is that love can be born, because love is in fact 2 people who are an other to each other, caring for each other's welfare and being an advocate of each other's potential. The fascinating part about this for Helen and me, as we have looked at couples over the years, is that once that wholeness occurs, the conflict level in the relationship goes down, couples become interested in something other than themselves. They have energy that's been used in conflict and fighting, now free to be used to do something constructive and creative. So they turn that energy into social action. Dialogue is not only a conversation that partners can have in a relationship that transforms it, but it's a new way to have a conversation in other sectors of society. An Israeli Imago therapist and a woman who's doing research in Palestine have brought dialogue, of all places, into a preschool setting. Children from 4 to 6 years old, and they taught them to mirror. And the children loved it. They began to mirror back things like, "So you're upset that I took your toy?" And as they began to respond to each other that way, the children adopted mirroring as a part of the culture of the classroom.